Welcome to Southwest Desert, where adventure meets the arid beauty of the American Southwest. Join us as we explore the rugged landscapes, uncover hidden historical gems, and dive deep into the rich legends and culture of this iconic region. Subscribe now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on our latest desert adventures. Please leave a like or comment. This is very helpful. Let's journey together into the heart of the Southwest Desert. Picture this. Deep beneath the Arizona desert in limestone passages where darkness is absolute, $62,000 in gold sits waiting. It's been there for over a century and a half, hidden by desperate men who took it in one of the most daring train robberies in the Old West. The only person who knew its exact location died trying to retrieve it. This is the story of Colossal Cave and the treasure that haunts it still. Arizona territory was wild, dangerous country. 17 miles east of Tucson, Colossal Cave had been carved into existence thousands of years earlier, when a mighty river burst from Rincon Mountain and created a spectacular underground world before mysteriously vanishing. The cave was unlike anything else in the region. Its limestone chambers stretched deep into the mountain's heart, a maze of passages and caverns that seemed endless. The air stayed perpetually fresh, the temperature a constant 72 degrees. It was beautiful, mysterious, and completely unknown to white settlers. But that was about to change, thanks to four men with either a brilliant plan or a death wish. These bandits had learned something interesting about the Southern Pacific Railroad schedule. A certain train would carry a massive shipment of gold, railroad payroll, and wages for soldiers at Fort Lowell, $62,000 in precious metal, enough to set a man up for life. They chose their target carefully. The sleepy desert town of Pantano seemed perfect, remote enough to discourage pursuit, surrounded by rugged terrain for escape, close to mountains for cover. As the train sat at Pantano Station, four shadows emerged from darkness like phantoms. They moved with military precision, overwhelming two Wells Fargo guards before either could react. In minutes, they had seized the entire shipment and were galloping into the night, leaving only confused shouts and dust. The robbery was so swift that the station agent stood agape, unable to comprehend what had happened until the train was pulling away. By the time word reached Tucson, the bandits had a significant head start. But Sheriff Bob Leatherwood was not a man to be trifled with. Within hours, he assembled a formidable posse: Wells Fargo agents, railroad workers seeking reward money, angry citizens, and armed soldiers. They rode from Tucson in a cloud of dust, following the clear trail left by four horses carrying heavy loads. The trail led 8 miles across desert floor, winding along the Rincon Mountain foothills before ending at Rancho del Lago. The ranch owner, a man named Crane, vigorously denied seeing strangers. But Leatherwood noticed 4 well-lathered horses in the corral that clearly didn't belong. Under questioning, Crane broke down and admitted the truth. 4 armed men had forced him at gunpoint to exchange their tired mounts for fresh ones, threatening death if he talked. Where had they gone? Toward what locals called the hole in the ground on Rincon Mountain. The posse arrived at an unimpressive opening in the mountainside. Hidden in nearby brush, they found Crane's horses, confirming the bandits had taken refuge in the cave. Leatherwood was confident. The men were trapped. Several brave posse members entered the narrow opening, which sloped sharply into blackness. They had gone only feet when the mountain exploded with sound. Gunfire erupted from the depths, muzzle flashes lighting the cavern as bullets ricocheted off stone formations. It was one of the strangest gunfights in Western history, a battle fought in absolute darkness between stalactites and stalagmites, every shot echoing like thunder through limestone halls. The posse scrambled to the surface, ears ringing. Leatherwood realized direct assault would be suicide. But he noticed something important. The cave appeared to have only one entrance. The bandits could hide, but eventually they would have to emerge, and the posse would be waiting. For 2 weeks, the siege continued. The posse established permanent camp outside the entrance, maintaining constant watch. Supply wagons arrived from Tucson for the extended operation. Men passed time playing poker, weapons always close. As days dragged with no sign of bandits, Leatherwood tried a different approach. His men gathered brush and branches, positioning them at the cave mouth before setting them ablaze. Thick smoke poured into the cavern, but nothing happened. No coughing figures emerged, no calls for mercy echoed. The posse wondered if they were besieging an empty cave when a cowboy rode in from Wilcox with stunning news. 4 strangers had appeared there, drinking heavily and boasting about putting one over on Sheriff Bob Leatherwood. The sheriff's blood ran cold. Could these be the same bandits? Could the cave have a second entrance? Leaving half his men to watch, Leatherwood rode hard for Wilcox. He found the strangers exactly where described and knew immediately these were his train robbers. This time, he was ready. With armed backup, the sheriff ordered them to surrender. The bandits responded by drawing weapons and opening fire, but days of heavy drinking had taken their toll. The battle was brief and decisive. When smoke cleared, 3 robbers lay dead, the 4th wounded and captured. Under interrogation, the surviving bandit confirmed Leatherwood's suspicions. The cave had a second entrance near where the posse had camped for 2 weeks. The bandits had slipped out days earlier and reached Wilcox, probably laughing at lawmen guarding an empty hole. But regarding the stolen gold's location, the prisoner's lips were sealed. Yes, all $62,000 was hidden in the cave, but he would die before revealing where. "You can hang me first," he declared. "I'll never tell." The bandit kept his word. Sentenced to 28 years in Yuma Territorial Prison, he refused every offer of reduced sentence for information. Wells Fargo agents tried every method to break him, but he never wavered. During imprisonment, he slightly changed his story, claiming he'd been standing guard while partners buried the gold, so didn't know the exact location, but no pressure extracted anything useful. Meanwhile, Wells Fargo maintained search parties in Colossal Cave for 3 months, bringing experienced miners and cave explorers to systematically search every accessible passage. The task proved hopeless. The cave was more extensive than imagined, a 3-dimensional maze of passages, rooms, and bottomless pits extending forever into the mountain. Years passed. The bandit served his full sentence without revealing the treasure's location. When released in 1912, 2 Wells Fargo agents waited at Yuma prison gates. They followed him to Tucson, where he remained 2 weeks, apparently aware of surveillance but making no move to leave. Then he was simply gone. The agents had grown careless and their quarry slipped away like smoke. Certain he was heading for Colossal Cave to recover his fortune, they secured fast horses and raced to the mountain. Too late. If the ex-convict had visited the cave, he'd covered his tracks well. The man was never seen again, not emerging from the cave, not in any territorial settlement. He had vanished completely. Years later, an exploration party made a discovery in a small chamber deep within the cave, the only room containing loose earth rather than solid rock. They found several empty money sacks. This was likely the treasure's original hiding place, and search parties had probably walked over it dozens of times during their fruitless months of searching. But what happened to the ex-convict? Had he recovered the gold, only to die attempting to leave through treacherous passages? Had he fallen into one of the dark pits or become lost and starved? Today, more than a century later, the mystery remains unsolved. Colossal Cave is now a tourist attraction, guided tours following safe, well-lit paths through spectacular limestone formations. But vast sections remain unexplored, too dangerous for visitors, too extensive for even experienced cavers to map. Somewhere in that darkness, in passages where no human voice has echoed for decades, $62,000 in gold may still wait. The men who stole it are long dead, the lawmen who pursued them forgotten. But the treasure remains, patient and eternal, in Rincon Mountain's heart. Sometimes, when desert wind blows across the cave's multiple entrances, locals say you can hear whispers, voices of desperate men still arguing over gold that no living person has seen, in a place where time stands still and secrets never die. The treasure of Colossal Cave waits still in Arizona's darkness for someone brave enough or foolish enough to find it. Join my Patreon community and discover my art print products on my website in the links provided in my description and link above. Also, if you would like a particular image from my videos, give the timestamp for image and I will upload it to my website and Patreon. Thank you for joining your desert frontiersman Alan for another Southwest Gold story. Check out my large catalog of Southwest videos and playlists on historical tales, legends, lost gold stories, and adult bedtime stories. If you like a certain image from my videos, tell me in comments and give timestamp. Happy trails! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more great content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.